Good morning. This presentation will be regarding affirmative action in today's society. Today we'll be talking about the history and comparison of affirmative action, the arguments I'll present for and against affirmative action. I'll present a few case laws, and then finally we'll talk about a conclusion. As you can see, there are many viewpoints today on affirmative action, equal opportunity, and the application in today's workplace and in society. Although affirmative action and equal opportunity laws are embedded in our society, the debate still lends merit. In order to answer the question of whether these laws are applicable and still relevant, it's necessary for us to understand the history and the intent while weighing both the supporting and opposing facts and viewpoints. Okay. History and comparison. Now, Equal Opportunity Act which most employees are aware of, was derived from the Affirmative Action Act. Many people associate these two laws to be the same since they deal both with discrimination. Okay. Affirmative action laws are enforced by the United States Labor Department. Equal opportunity laws are enforced by the Equal Opportunity Commission. The term affirmative action was first used in President Kennedy's executive order, which was in 1961. Both affirmative action and EEO laws are part of the Civil Rights Act. As you understand, we all have come from and are aware of the Constitution, we the people of the United States. Arguments for affirmative action and the continuation of unfair hiring practices, admission practices. The federal court upheld that race could be used for criteria in admissions in the case of DeFungus versus the Ogden. Discrimination within the society exists based upon court cases, ability to avoid the intent of the laws by following the letter of the laws, therefore making the laws ineffective. Opposition to affirmative action are reverse discrimination. Additional court cases state that the Supreme Court ruled in the Steelworkers versus Weber case that affirmative action program designed to eliminate race imbalance was not in alignment with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. Some people also state that there have been many unfair judgments. Case laws. The current implementation of affirmative action and EEO laws in the courts make this matter a more complex issue due to their conflicting decisions. As you can see in this chart, DeFungus versus Ogden, the court ruled for affirmative action. It was a case of the fire workers of the city of Cleveland, International Association of the Fire Workers versus the city of Cleveland. They also ruled for affirmative action. The sheet metal workers versus EEOC, again for affirmative action. Johnson versus Transportation Agency, another case where the courts ruled affirmative action and upheld those laws. On the other side of this chart, you can see that there have been many decisions against. The University of California Regent versus Bake, Steelworkers versus Weber, Wygant versus Jackson of Board of Education, Richmond versus J.A. Croson Company. These cases indicate how the general public is confused on the intent and application of affirmative action in our society. In conclusion, I'd like to say, many opinions and debates on the significance of affirmative action are largely based on feelings and emotions. I propose, in order to solve this issue, we must look at facts and the intent of the laws. Based upon the presentation, hopefully you have formed an opinion on your opinion, and your opinion has changed on the subject matter based upon content. So I have a few questions. Is affirmative action still needed in today's society? How can we make a difference? Therefore, I encourage you to take an active part in solving this issue, not only today, not only for today's society, but for our future generations. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Yes. Um, on your discussion of affirmative action, where did you got most of your research? It was very good. Where did you get it?
I used, excuse me, Jane Aberhart, who provided the case laws on affirmative action and the different cases which indicated for or against affirmative action. Additionally, I used some HR magazines. If you read in the entire paper, Affirmative Action in Today's Society, you'll be able to see how there are arguments from uh, professors who feel, African American professors who feel that affirmative action is no longer needed. There are arguments in HR magazines today explaining how affirmative action is still needed. So I used several different sources to gather this information. Are there any additional questions?
Do you think affirmative action is needed in the state of Utah?
Well, um, based upon the facts of affirmative action and the intent of the law, I believe affirmative action in its true intent is needed in our society. However, I believe that the intent has no longer, it doesn't have value. So, based upon that, the way that we use the laws, no.
I see. That's all.
Thank you.